Not too bad. There's not only going to be one trio, of course, walking away with a lot of money. There's actually going to be a lot of trios walking away with a lot of money this weekend. Big prize pool, a lot of money on the line. Levin, we set aside the money a lot. We got to talk about the prestige that comes with an event like this.
Of course we want the money, right? But you know, if you're a money man like my guy Vivid over here, maybe the money ain't too big of a deal. But what is a big deal is that trophy. I mean, it is a beauty. Big shout out to Thomas Lyon, man, for hooking this one up, because this is something that every player on this stage will want to get their hands on.
That's right. And, you know, taking a trophy home, you know, saying, hey, I'm a global championship, load up, stream. Oh, what's that in the background? My trophy? Not a big deal. We can't also forget a brand new Axe of Champions 3.0. Yep. I would like to be the first person to take hold of that, right? So much on the line. But of course, as I mentioned before, some of the best trios in the world are all competing on this stage. Let's take a look at our lobby list. Let's start to get a picture of what we're going to be seeing happen here. Obviously, it's been fun all year long, right? We've been NNA and EU kind of separate, but now under a single battle bus. It's about to get chaotic.
Yeah, absolutely stacked. Of course, a lot of people are going to look towards the names. I'm looking towards the regions. Of course, the global championship, 7 regions represented very, very well.
I mean, look at how much talent here is on this screen. You got some of the best IGLs of all time. You got some of the best fraggers of all time. You got a couple of icons on that page as well. I mean, there is so much talent playing in this lobby this weekend.
I am just, you know, when you take a look at that list, it is insane to think about these players and just think about how stacked it already is, right? Like how many trios didn't make it here, right? This year in particular was unbelievably fierce. But now we have to kind of question, okay, wherever region we're at, we're kind of going in and we're thinking, bro, it's not just my region I'm going against. It's 6 other regions I got to be constantly thinking about, well, what can they do? What is their strategy?
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the beauty of a global championship. We're taking play styles from 99 different players, 7 different regions, throwing them into one lobby. The clash is always so amazing to watch, just from the early game all the way to the end game.
Boys, we get to watch it together. Oh, it's gonna be a good time today.
It is so exciting. Of course, it's not just us hanging out talking about Fortnite with you guys. We also have Mini Miner and Kelly Lake. Let's toss it over to them to get their thoughts.
Thank you so much. Zeke Kelly here, joined by Mini Miner, and we are currently in the player lounge where the players just behind the camera are getting ready. We can see them all grouped up, strategizing, getting ready to get in the game. And I know we're ready, and I know you guys are ready, but as you can see, we have a little bit of time, and we wanted to break down what's going on around the map.
Yeah, now we want to take a look firstly at the northwest side of the map. Lots of talk about Queasy's team in particular landing up here to the north side of the map, the Hive. This is a really great drop spot for them. A lot of talk about, on paper, this team looked like a team that could win this global championships. And one of the main reasons for that is, of course, they have that spire right in the center of the POI. They can build up on that, and what they've been doing a lot of is building up on top of that, getting some tags on some of the teams around. And if we throw out the teams that are around, there are so many names around here that they can look for tags on. Of course, we have the teams down to the south, but Kelly, these are some big names around them.
I mean, let me say, with this Spire being able to build up your surge tower there, you know that in this season, a lot of people are crash padding on, but having that natural height on top of building it is giving them a bunch of protection, and they need that protection because look who is landing around them. You got Must to the northwest, Mr. Savage, Reason, and Chap, who have been absolutely impressing everyone during the Div Cups just to the north of them. Of course, we can't forget about Clicks, Eonzo, and Higgs. We have Kanata, Rapid Bolts, King, Phaser, and then of course, if you guys have been watching the 1v1s over the last few days, Arc has been on an absolute tear. So to have those names around you, it's probably good to have a little bit of protection.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of good early surge opportunities for these guys as well. But the one downside to this drop spot, I guess you're looking at this, really good surge, loads of loot in that drop spot. The one downside that they're having is the lack of metal at this drop. So they don't have absolutely loads, and they do solve that in 2 different ways. There is a bunker just about here. And of course, because this is a drop spot where they get that queen, they can access that bunker whenever they like, whether that be at the beginning, or of course maybe they want to rotate in their late, refarm some of that metal as well. And what they can also do, as you mentioned right there, Muzz is up there, they can rotate all the way up to here and refarm some of the metal at the resistance base to the north, and then of course it's a really nice position for there as well.
Yeah, even if Zone pulls to the southeast, they still have so many static launch pads there, not having to worry about wasting their mobility in the middle and late game, so they can go over there to the northwest, get that metal like you said, and then rotate anywhere they need to. But speaking of rotating, we need to rotate to the now southwest side of the map because we have another big name landing over there. And of course, it is Vico, Vino, and Flixie. This has been a team that has been on everyone's eyes essentially since they formed up earlier this year. But what we thought was going to be an uncontested drop over at Canyons is no longer the case.
Yeah, Coyota's team has decided to show up. This is quite a recent development as well coming into this global championship. So huge changes for Vico Venoflixi. It's going to throw a whole new spanner in the works of their drop spot, Kelly.
Yeah, and it's going to kind of throw a little bit of an issues for the teams that are landing around them as well. Obviously, Vico Venoflixi going to be looking for some potential tags. They can either get that from Mix's team to the southwest, but of course, you have teams landing over here like FKS is going to be landing right there.
Yeah, I mean, there's some big questions here about Alex Anon and Resigns because, of course, there's so many questions about how they're actually going to go about and get their Storm Surge tags. They're an OCE team, not typically too strong on the Storm Surge, right? They haven't necessarily got those strategies clearly at the beginning, but what I'm excited to see what these guys do. Maybe they could try and go for this mountain position right there. You can sort of see it rotating up, so they're trying to get those tags. Maybe, of course, we could see Vico and Flixi, if they do win off spawn right here, maybe they'll make their way over to this hill, because remember, it's such a power position, Kelly. Not only do you have that elevation, you also have those launch pads as well, which can take you right into the center of the map.
You know who loves that power position as well? Well, it would be the team landing over in Demon's Debris. You might have heard of them. That is Acorn, Angers, and Koyo, a team that has been on everyone's top 5, top 3, if not even winning the whole thing. And I know we got some Gentle Mates fans in the audience right now that are all cheering for another Koyo win, back-to-back champion. Is it possible? Landing over in Demon's Debris, it is quite possible indeed.
Yeah, it is. And as we take a look at the rest of the map, there is, of course, a sort of trend in the medallions, right? Of course, we know there's a few medallions on the map. Typically, what we've known as, of course, we have it at the Hive, we have it at Ranger's Ruin as well, and we also have one over here in this sort of area right here at Demon's Debris. Now, this was how things were actually looking at the very beginning, right? Now we've seen a big change. We've seen a big change to where now that medallion and, of course, that queen that spawned at Demon's Debris now has a 50-50 chance at spawning at Dystopia City as well. Some big names landing there. Could we see a little...
Well, you're talking about changes. We got to talk about one of the biggest drop spot changes I think a lot of people are talking about is, of course, Pewterbot, Cold, Ritual, moving spots, landing over in Dystopia, getting triple contested. I think there was a possibility of them thinking they were going to ego some players out. But if you've been watching some of the off-spawn fights recently, I don't know if that's going to be the case. However, if there's anything you can expect from Pewterbot, Cold, and Ritual is that they're unpredictable.
Exactly. Remember those queens that these guys are fighting over, of course, in this sort of area up there as well. The teams that are actually going for these, they're so beneficial, right? Because you can get all of that hero ranking so early, have access to the bunkers like I mentioned earlier, and even those drop pods that come in, they can get you the crash pads that you mentioned earlier that are so beneficial. The big question for me is if a team does decide to maybe need that later on down the line. Of course, they know when the queen's going to be at the drop spot when they're on the battle bus, right? So could we see a little bit of a change in drop spots major for Poyo's team? Will we see maybe Pewterbot, Cold, Ritual do what they did in major number 3 and go on down there?
There is so much that can possibly happen, Mini Minor, but obviously only time will tell, and I know.
Thank you so much, Mini Minor and Kelly. We'll see more of them in a little bit, but we need to deep dive onto more of what they're kind of talking about. Obviously, getting to see just those 2 quadrants of the map, it's got me so hyped, right? Actually seeing names on the POIs, the map itself, it's got me so hyped. Why don't we kick things off with EU, right? We got Fred Oxy going up against Tayson. Now, Levin, you've been close to this, right? You've been watching this all year long, but now we're taking this fight to a global stage.
Look, as an EU fan, seeing 2 top teams contesting each other, it hurts me a little bit. It does.
Yeah.
And seeing 2 teams who, again, have shown a propensity to be incredibly good off spawn. We've seen this fight take place a couple times in the Div Cups. In the first one, I think a lot of people expecting things to go Fredoxy's way, Vivid, right? Fredoxy has a reputation as being a top off spawn player. And then Tayson, he came through with his trio, Harrison and Chicho. They said, nah. They beat those guys badly. They ran it back again in the Div 3, in Div 1 week 3. It went a different way. The Doxy team came back and showed the Osborne power that we know they have. And so right now, it sits sort of even in the stage today.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what makes it so scary, right? We don't know what to expect. I can tell you one thing that's almost a guarantee, though. Whatever team ended up winning off spawn in those Div Cups, only 5 out of the 11 times that they actually ended up fighting, they had 3 players alive. So it's pretty much this 50% chance that one of your teammates is going to go down if you end up fighting off spawn. Of course, we know that they are. And I feel like that could stall, or definitely will stall their early game. Maybe we'll also be like this beacon for other teams around the area to kind of come and be like, well, maybe we should go third party this.
I mean, it's possible.
Interesting. So obviously, I like you guys to kind of bring this down. I kind of want to take this to the fact that this, obviously, this is the global championship stage, but this crowd kind of takes things to another level, right? So I'm kind of curious to get your guys' thoughts on how this could impact the trio. Do we see maybe those nerves maybe being a little more than usual?
Look, when you look at both teams have two, what you call maybe star fragging players, right? You look at Haris along the Balkan side, you look at Chino, right? The young Dane who's come in and you know he's a top fighter. Both of those players haven't played on a stage like this, right? They don't have the experience. Coming into a land like this, having the expectation that you're gonna come through and just beat everyone in fights, that's a lot of pressure to deal with.
Yeah, it definitely is. I can tell you from personal experience and kind of showing up to in-person events like this, it took me, I think, like 3 times of doing it before I felt like I had no nerves kind of going into one. So that's why we always talk about experience, right? It really does matter when it comes out to these types of events.
I like to hear it, but I also want to hear from these players right now. Frankie and Benji are standing by. Let's hear 'em.
Hello guys, yes we are, because we've got to talk about Rangers Ruin and this epic off-spawn battle that's about to happen. In the last Divisional Cup, you actually came out on top for Redoxy. Not really like the first Divisional Cup, where you kept losing, so what did you change to start winning?
No, we just used some time on off-spawn prep and became more confident.
Do you think that Tyson hasn't been practicing?
I've seen them practice a lot here. Yeah.
It's just a skill difference.
Ah, en gros, les deux équipes ont un niveau de jeu différent. Ils se sont tous les deux entraînés très longtemps sur ce spawn, mais Fredexy pense que c'est eux qui ont l'avantage, évidemment. Tyson, you land at Rangers Ruin against Fredoxy's trio. Who's gonna win this contest and why?
I think we're gonna win. I just think we're a better off-spawn team and individually we're better.
Pour faire simple, l'équipe est meilleure et même individuellement, il n'a pas peur, il se sent en confiance. C'est le trio de Tyson, visiblement, qui est favori.
My jaw has hit the floor because if you look at the statistics going back to Major 3, you were one of the highest damage dealers in the lobby. Do you think he's just a bit scared of you?
I mean, we'll see on stage.
But this is your first time on stage. Do you have any nerves about that? Do you anticipate it feeling different?
No, not about off-spawn. We're confident.
But not confident about the rest of the game? Just off-spawn?
I mean, we'll freestyle. We'll see what we do.
To be fair, if anyone can freestyle, it's Redoxy.
Ouais, elle a bien fait de le souligner, c'est la première fois que le trio de Fredoxy monte sur scène, c'est son premier gros event, mais il est quand même en confiance, il n'a pas peur de la pression, il va boire la pression comme on dit. Tyson, you won 5 FNCS titles, it's the Europe record. Do you think this experience can be an advantage for you and your trio during the games?
I think so, yeah, but I don't really think we have a chance to win this time. Just being contested, but I'll just give it to other players this time.
Il pense qu'il peut encore le faire, il peut aller chercher une 6e victoire, mais il l'a dit, ce contest il va être très relevé. On verra, ça promet, ça va être un très très beau contest.
He said he's going to give the victory to other players. Is he going to give it to you, Victor?
Do 11-1 to win when you have like so many teams trading Surge, being like consistent. So yeah, I understand him.
One more question for you. Is there anything you would like to say to Tyson on the record before you land at Rangers Ruin?
Just good luck. Good luck.
And Tyson?
Same.
Good luck, guys. Thank you, man.
Ending on such a lovely, sweet note here backstage, but I imagine it's not going to be quite so sweet as you walk back on stage, please.
You know, they're trying to keep calm, cool, and collected right now, Frankie. I can definitely tell there's a bit of a different atmosphere, right? But once again, this crowd is probably the best crowd we have ever had. And I think even people with coming in with experience, the moment M8 starts going crazy, kind of changes things.
Hey, listen, I feel like we've got a lot of experience up here on the desk at this point, and it's definitely it's going to take a little bit of time for us to kind of adapt to the noise as well.
100%. It's funny though, I feel like both players are almost just like completely focused on the off-spawn, and it's just like the rest of the game after that, whatever, man. Like, let's just try and win off-spawn has been the focus. I think both players, again, will be under immense pressure, but we'll see who can do it the best.
I like that. Let's keep this conversation going. There's more contestations happening. Let's take it on over to Vico versus Coyota. This is an interesting one. This kind of all kicked off with some social media exchanges, and now here we are at a global stage contesting each other on maybe not the stage we should be doing this, but it's happening.
I mean, yeah, look how incredible of a year both of these trios had. I mean, first and second for Vico's trio there. Coyote also putting on an incredible year, especially that Major 3 performance. And this hurts me so much because if you take a look at global championships on a greater scale, right, go all the way back to 2022, you count in 23, 24, and everything like that, there's only been 3 instances of a smaller region team actually placing in the top 10. So much so, actually, that last year at Globals, there were none in the have to go up against such a titan of a trio off spawn. It hurts.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it was just last year when Coyote really announced himself to the global world as being a top Fortnite player. Like you say, it hurts to see him having to go off spawn against such a veteran experience all day long. Ultimately speaking, Vico Blixie will just have had infinitely better off-spawn practice than what Coyote, Rise, and Yuma have been able to have access to, right? These guys all the time. You know, the Asian teams, it's a lot harder for them to get that same level of practice with.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Also, you know, we were blessed last night, right? Me, Lev, and all the crew kind of sitting there out in the lobby at the hotel. Vico kind of comes by. Confidence is like the only word I feel like I need to say. Like, Vico just feels so confident kind of going into this all-spawn play, but me not so much, because this feels like an extreme 50-50. Like, is that going to be replicable?
I mean, we'll have to see. The one thing I'd say maybe that goes against Vico, Veno, Blixie, that, you know, in the case especially of, you know, Veno and Vico, very emotional players, right? There's a scenario where maybe, you know, they're going in super confident. If those first couple games don't go their way, trouble might be assured. So we have to see how these guys start and whether or not the Asian team, Coyote trio, decide to even want to stay there, right? You know, initially they weren't even going to be landing at this spot. We thought maybe they were going to be landing further up north, contesting Mr. Savage's trio. So there's a good chance these guys maybe get rooked a couple games and say, you know what, guys, we'll take a step back, you know, you're good. But who knows really at this point?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of, you know, further elaborate on what we kind of talked about, yeah, Vico's saying, hey, look, I put a lot of practice in. There was a lot of things he kind of kept going, you know, talking about in the practice putting in. We're all sitting there going, wow, like, you really have thought this through. I almost wonder though, right? Like, this is a show day. You could put a lot of practice on, but when you show up on the day, anything can happen. So I almost wonder if things were to go not in Vico's favor, what happens? You talk about being an emotional player. Maybe they continue to get rocked off spawn. Maybe we have to come back for day 2. I don't know.
I mean, even like talking to the coach of Coyote's trio, right? I was kind of like, hey, listen, like, what's the game plan for all 12 games? Of course, you know, we know you're going to start landing there, but if things start to go bad, and you know, basically he was like, hey, listen, man, they do not like to be disrespected, and I think they're going to take it to them all 12 games.
Oh, wow. And, oh, man. Well, guess what? Frankie, Benji are standing by with them right now. Let's get to the players.
We are. I can't wait for this Canyon Crossing clash. Coyote, what was your coach Spen's reaction when you said you wanted to now land at Canyon Crossing?
降下すると教えたらどのようなリアクションをしましたか？まあ自分たちの内容に自分たちの判断に任せることを言われました。So he just said here he's gonna leave the decision to us, like he's gonna just, you know, let us do whatever we think it's the best for us.
And Spen has taught you a lot because 8 victory royales in Major 3 in Asia. What is the thing that he has taught you that has strengthened your game?
スペンコーチはたくさんのことを教えたと思うんですね。スペンコーチになってから、大会で12試合の中で8回、勝利できましたけれども、特にどんなことを教えましたか？どんな影響を与えましたか？なんかもう立ち回りの安定感とか、コミュニケーションの部分もそうですし、なんかそういうことをも教えられて、なんかより安定したかなって前より、思います。So he taught us how to move more safely, how to behave more safely in the game, but also a lot about communication inside the team. So that's, I think, those are the 2 most important things he taught us.
Versus Coyote's trio. Honestly, did you expect it or not at all?
I mean, we knew the whole season we were going to be contested. The first cup where they landed like Canyon Crossing, we already knew we were going to be on. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about it. They can do whatever they want, right? It's a game, so if they decide to land on us, then I'll just teach them not to do it again.
Pour faire simple, ils font ce qu'ils veulent. Le spawn n'appartient à personne, ils peuvent venir. Mais ce qu'il dit concrètement, c'est que qu'ils viennent, pas de problème, ils seront très bien reçus.
With the aggression that you brought to the Asian region, do you think you can replicate that here at the Global Championships?
なんかアジア地域で本当にアグレッシブなスタイルを見せたんですけれども、この世界大会でも同じスタイルができると思いますか？
まあできるだけ自分たちを信じて、まあ今まで通りやる予定です。
So we want to keep it up. We want to play it like we want to believe in ourselves and just keep up doing what we've been doing so far.
But if you do start to lose off spawn against Vico's trio, would you consider moving to a different area of the map?
なんか序盤でビコ選手たちとまあ何回も負けたら他のところに移動する予定がありますか？
ない。
No, I don't think I have to translate that.
Because last year you finished 4th at the 2024 Globals. What's the objective? What's the plan for this 2025 edition? Maybe top 5, top 4, maybe more?
I mean, the plan was to get first to win this, but now that we're calm, I think we can still top 3, you know, which is good. We prepared a lot for this, so I think we can still top 3, maybe win if we do good.
Pour faire simple, ils se sont préparés au mieux. Évidemment, s'il peut aller chercher la victoire, le titre, ils le feront. En tout cas, ils visent au minimum le top 3. On aura des clients très très sérieux dans cette finale.
Finally, Koyota, is there anything you would like to say to Vico?
ビコ選手に向け何かメッセージ一言がありますか？
Good luck.
Good luck.
And you, have you got a word for Koyota?
Good luck. Hope you prepared well.
C'est que de l'amour pour l'instant. Rendez-vous maintenant sur la map.
Bonne chance. Bonne chance. À le deux.
Man, Vico just trying to farm that aura, and he is successful. But also, I gotta say, I love Koyota. He just seems so wholesome and so. And I love too. Hey, you know, would you leave? Nah. No, I love
No translation needed.
Yeah, dude. The fact that we're gonna see these two trios go head to head is so crazy. And again, there's just like one of the many things happening across the map. But like hearing them now, dude, I'm super excited for it.
Like, I'm excited, Zeke, but at the same time, my heart's broken a bit, man. Because, you know, all three of us, we always get called out for our biases, right? They always say I'm EU biased. They always say you guys are NA biased. And I try to show some of the other regions love. And when I look at some of the other regions, Koyota, Rise, and Yuma are a team from Asia that I really want to be able to champion these guys and be like, look, these guys can hang with the best of the best. But if they're competing all 12 games off spawn against one of the best EU teams in the world, they leave me no choice but to sit here and just have to look the other way, man. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. I wish we could see both these teams uncontested, though.
Yeah, I mean, I love that point, right? Because a lot of people kind of coin Koyota as like the Asian peanut butter. Or sometimes people even say, hey, peanut butter's like the NA Koyota, right? Kind of goes back and forth right there. That's how good individually Koyota has shown himself to be. But, you know, we got to go ahead and respect the confidence on the other side of things as well. Vico basically saying, hey, listen, we were planning on winning it. We know how detrimental, you know, fighting off spawn is, and Vico went ahead and said, hey, listen, we don't really feel like we can win it, but we still feel like we can get top 3. I feel like that is an incredible goal in its own self, right?
You know, absolutely, that would be one of the best performances we've seen from a team ever, right? You know, it would be mental. And I think the reason why a lot of these guys are like, I'm convinced I'm not going to win, it comes from a respect for the lobby, right?
Yeah.
When you look at some of the other teams in this lobby from some of the other regions, a lot of these guys look at them with so much respect and go, I'm contested 12 out of 12 games. If those guys are uncontested, it's going to be hard keeping up with them.
I like that respect. Again, I just love looking at this through the lens of a global championship stage. I agree, though. I don't want to see these guys fight. I want to see both these trios make it to endgame and kind of see, okay, what do they have prepared for us? But now this could go back and forth, you know. I'm scared, I'm excited, but that's what Globals is, right? At the end of the day, we're going to be fighting it out, and there can only be one trio that walks away as global champions. Now, of course, you kind of heard a little bit from us. Why don't we hear a little bit from this crowd? Frankie, Benji, what are you?
Thank you, guys. We do need to test the loyalty of the audience here in Lyon, because we've just discussed the epic off-spawn battles we're about to witness, and we need to see who the crowd is siding with.
Exactly. Tyson versus Fredoxy. Fredoxy versus Tyson. Selon vous, ce contest, qui parie sur Tyson?
Vous en pensez quoi, Leon? Fredoxy!
Ooh.
I think Fredoxy might have the edge here, Ben.
Yeah, I think too. Vous l'avez vu, il y a eu un deuxième contest. On vous a parlé aussi du trio de Koyota face à celui de Vico. Sacré contest encore entre les deux équipes. Selon vous, dans le public, qui parie sur le trio de Vico?
Lyon, le trio de Koyota!
Even.
Pretty even. And I think I might know why, Benji. Because the audience here, really, their support and their love is going to any team with a gentlemate on it! And we do have many teams with one of those gentlemates players on it. And we're going to be introducing them very soon, Benji.
Oh yes, 7 players for M8 gentlemen doing this final. This is the public, this is the crowd that you heard since the beginning of the show. This is M8 fan. They're so crazy. Guys, make some noise!
And that's just the Gentlemates fans. Before we go back to the desk, Leon, tout le monde, faites du bruit! Vic, back to you.
Listen, okay, this is one of the best crowds we have ever had, and we're not even in game yet, okay? You know, in that moment, we get the elimination starts flowing, we get that victory royale moment, it's going to be crazy. Now, as we start to kind of focus back in on the competition, I wanted to highlight something for you guys. 3 of the best players from last year's Globals are finding themselves once again back on this global stage. Peterbot, Hoyo, who were a duo that split up early this year, and Queasy. So we wanted to take some time to kind of highlight where they are all at and how their trios are performing so far. Obviously, we got to start with M8 Hoyo.
They're partying.
They're
partying.
They're already gone. They're like, see,
They see his name. They see his name. I mean, how can you not? Look, I think a lot of people coming into the competition this weekend, Vivid, they're looking at Hoyo, Acorn, and Aegis as big favorites to win it all.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. When you look at the situation as a whole, right? Uncontested at one of the best POIs in the game right now. When you take a look at their history throughout the year, first, fifth, second, when you take a look at the individual performances from the likes of like Agers, the most eliminations on NA with 40. Playing absolutely out of their minds, and of course Hoyo also playing out of his mind. You've got Acorn on your team to lead you in the right direction, make all of those pivotal calls with the experience to back them up. The trio just looks so good.
The storyline would just be so perfect, right? Hoyo had to deal with a lot of criticism of people going, what's Hoyo without Peterbot? What can he do without Peterbot, right? He came through at the first major of the year in NA, won it without Peterbot. Can he come to the Global Championships this year, win it without Peterbot? Can Acorn solidify himself as the GOAT IGL in Fortnite? He's won so much, he's done it online, but can you do it here on this stage? And of course, Aegis, an FNCS champion in his own right, who has been underrated at times, but he has been a shining star all throughout this year.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Let's move on. Queasy, Swizzy, Murstache. Levin, I'm coming to you. And what's interesting about this trio is obviously the Swizzy factor, right? Finally getting to play together with his actual trio mates.
See, I can't even hear you, Z. I can't even hear you right now. They're way too loud for my guys, Swizzy, Moustache, and Queasy, man. Look, the setup for this team again, the story is so much adversity in his career. In 2023, he wins Major 3 in EU. He can't play at the Global Championships there due to visa issues. In 2024, he gets the visa sorted. He can play. His teammate Vanya can't make it. He has to play with a Phil and Yakko. And even playing with a Phil Vivid, he gets top 10. He won't be choose the eventual champions to win a game in Peterbot and Hoyo. It still wasn't enough. This year, Swizzy finally gets to play with his teammates, and he has 2 of the best players in the lobby to be playing with, in Queasy and Moustache. Uncontested, these guys, they might go the whole way, man. I really believe it.
Yeah, I mean, Swizzy and Mustache, two of the best fraggers for sure in the game. Levin loves to talk about it. Queasy, he considers him to be the GO IGL as it currently stands in Fortnite. Second, 11th, second at global events in the past. The win right there.
So many times.
So close for him. Can he pull it off this year?
This really, you would think this has to be his year, right? Like he's come so close. And this year, everything looks... Kelly and Minnie, at the start of the show, they broke down why things look so good for them on the map. I think a lot of those things will come to fruition today. I hope all goes well for that trio, and I really believe in them.
I love that. Okay, obviously the remaining player of those three, it's Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. You know, when we kind of came into this, these three names is kind of like, hey, any one of these trios could go on to win. But then we kind of throw a wrench into it when Peterbot, Cold, Ritual are triple contested, bro. Why are we doing that at globals?
Oh, the triple contestation. It's a hard hurdle for me as an analyst to kind of jump over and be like, these guys can still do well. And then I look at it, right? Obviously, you have unanimous best player in the world on your trio. But then when you take a step back and you take a look at the individual performances of Cold and Ritual in major number 3, you're like, now hold up a second. Cold obviously always has like the best damage ratio, always is right there with eliminations, damage dealt. We know he's very, very good. Then Ritual at the start of this year was getting a lot of flack. Like, Ritual, like, what are you doing? You're holding the trio back. What the heck, man? Takes the entire year, grinds his mechanics. I'm not even kidding. In major number 3, he was very, very close in comparison to Peterbot in eliminations. Ritual had 25. Peterbot had 33. So the individual skill level of all three just looks so primed up for global.
Yeah, I mean, it is just mental, right? When you have, you know, 2 players on your team who at any given moment can just be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you have a very, very good chance of doing well in this competition. But like you highlighted, Zeke, triple contested here at Dystopia.
Yep.
I mean, even with that being said, I still think a lot of people probably expect these guys to come out on the right side of things more often than not across the 12 games. But ultimately, it's just too chaotic. You've got to think, right? You know, 3 teams landing at 1 POI, it just can't go well.
It's so chaotic, but I can't lie, Levin. I think we're hearing the whispers. I think socials are hearing the whispers about it's like, they have something cooked up. Are they actually going to be landed there?
I've seen it. I mean, people have been suggesting that maybe these guys might cook up some sort of teamy strat where they're landing at a couple different places over the course of the 12 games. If any team could do that and pull it off, it would be them.
Man, this is crazy. You guys have me so unbelievably excited. But it's time. All right, we got to get these players in and ready. So, Leon, give a big warm welcome to your players.
Leon, give it up for Tayson, Chicho, and Atris. They've got plenty of experience, but will it be enough to take them to the top? Let's get it.
It's Curly, Cooper, and Reed coming out hot of NA. They're now taking their gameplay to the biggest stage of them all. But can they keep up that performance?
Give it up for Tisco, Striker, and Canoe. Representing Brazil, they're here to prove their worth against the rest of the world. Let's see what they've got.
Poland's pride picks Demas. While being up-and-comers throughout the year, they've certainly proved they can shake up EU lobbies, but can they do it on land too?
It's none other than Victor V, Paper, and Epic Whale. Fan favorites of the NA West region, but also heavy hitters in this competition. It is time to lock it in.
From Brazil, Gazetta, Way, and Scarpa, the major 3 qualifiers are now ready to take the fight on the international stage and show them how lethal the region can be.
A few household names of the NA region, it's Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts. This weekend, they'll have to come together to face off against the toughest competitor in the world.
Coming in hot, Seti, Yapko, and Panzer. After switching up ahead of Major 3, these guys displayed instant chemistry making their way to globals. Now the real test starts.
Malor, Mansour, and Adapter have touched down in France. This Middle Eastern trio is not to be underestimated. this weekend.
The Wonders from Down Under, Anon, Alex, and Resigns. After a dominating year on OCE, they're taking the battle to the main stage. Watch out, these guys mean business.
Far from gentle, it's Puyo, Majors, and Acorn. It's been a big year for these guys, and concluding it with the Globals trophy, that's just the icing on the cake.
I cannot believe that this is going to be your first LAN, Curly, but luckily you have some very experienced players with you. Reet, and of course, a former global champion in Cooper. What has this experience been like so far for you?
I mean, playing with the global championship winner has meant a lot to me. I mean, I'm playing with an official winner here. But, it's been a great experience so far. Yeah.
And Cooper, you've chosen to play with these guys. What's so special about this team?
I think Curly has a lot of potential. I think what Mero saw in me, I see in him. So I think he's going to be great in the future, a great prospect. I think he's going to be really good.
And how do you feel about your chances of taking back the crown?
It's not looking great in terms of how I'm predicted, but the same thing happened in Copenhagen and I won, so we'll see how it turns out.
Quickly, very quickly, Reet, we've got to have some more positive words about winning.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're gonna win. I'm excited. I'm excited to go out here and play and do our best, give it a shot.
Bien sûr, let's head to Benji.
Et oui, Frankie, je suis avec un nouveau trio. Les amis, Lyon, s'il vous plaît, du bruit pour Bolt, Rapide and Canada! Ooh la 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 la. Canada, how do you feel, man?
I'm feeling amazing. I love France, baby. Let's go! Come on! Let's go!
You're the GOAT that you think you are. Thank you, Canada. You have this experience from big stadium, big stage like today, but today it's different because of huge French atmosphere. Do you think you can handle the pressure?
Pressure's all I need. I'm feeling good. I'm ready. I'm ready to win. Let's go, baby!
Make some noise from Canada! And now, back to you, Frank.
Thank you. I had to find Aegis Acorn. Acorn, you've been to many of these Fortnite global lands, but how does this one compare so far?
This is like nothing I've ever seen. This is the craziest land ever.
And how do you keep your focus in-game leading these guys when the crowd is so loud?
We're locked in, we're ready to win, and we're going to bring it home for M8.
And you're going to bring it home for America, potentially. Puyo, you could do the back-to-back here in France, in front of so many fans. What would that mean?
I mean a lot. I mean, I can barely even hear you right now, so yeah.
Do you have anything to say to the fans?
Thank you for being here. It's important.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. Good luck today, guys. We need to meet some more teams.
It's your boys, King, Phaser, and P8 Sin. After tearing up both Brazilian and NA lobbies throughout the year, they're here to wrap up the competition in style.
Say hello to Vortex, Mountain, and Goofy. Making it to Lyon was no easy feat, but these guys are coming in with lots of motivation to win it all.
Put your hands together for Pars, Pump, and Baka. NA West did not stand a chance against these guys this year. The question is if they can keep the same pressure in this lobby.
Better late than never. iJob, Cammy, and Hottie have made it to France. And with globals on the line, there's no time to waste. They're here to crush the competition for real.
The pride of Middle East, Hero, Halad, and FKS. Proving their worth throughout the year is tough, but proving it on the global stage is even tougher. It's time to lock in, boys.
Make some noise for Clicks, Higgs, and Yamso. Going home empty-handed just isn't an option. And with the trophy directly in sight, these guys are bringing their A-game.
Get loud for Mura, Wixie, and Buyuriru. Qualifying for Major 3 was just the start. With their eyes on the prize, they look to take the trophy home.
Mix and focus and up building, everybody, and this trio's talent has brought them so far already. But it's time to go the distance. Let's see what they've got.
Walking in now, Art School and Salco, all the way from NA West with a major win. They're looking to bring their domination all the way to the global stage.
Give it up for Yuma, Koyota, and Rise. After dominating Asia this year, now they're ready to prove that they've got what it takes to win it all at the international level.
Ladies and gentlemen, Furious, Vanya, and Pixie with a strong home crowd behind them today. These guys are destined to go all the way. Pressure has never been higher.
So, obviously, I had to come and keep the seat warm for Vanya Boo Boo because I know there are a lot of fans here in France who cannot wait to meet this team. Here they come, Pixie in front. I know we have some Havoc fans here in Lyon. Pixie, you've been to many of these global lands. How great is it to know you have Havoc fans waiting to see you play?
It's amazing. It's the best ever.
And I know that you're going to put on a show for them. Let's come over here then. Marius, I know that Germany loves you, but now France loves you too. What's that like?
It's amazing, bro. It's amazing. It's such a good feeling.
I can imagine. And Vanya, they call you Vanya Boo Boo. You spent a lot of time with the fans. What would you like to say to them here in France? Sometimes actions speak louder than words, which is why I'm gonna say, let's head to you, Benji.
Et merci Frankie. Je suis avec un nouveau trio. Ils viennent encore des États-Unis. S'il vous plaît, du bruit pour Hicks, Helpso and Clicks. Wow. Clicks, how do you feel, man?
I feel great. This is going to be the one. I'm bringing it home.
Hey, il le dit, il vient pour gagner. Il est chaud, l'atmosphère lui fait pas peur. Il vient pour gagner. C'est top 1 ou rien pour Clicks. Clicks, we know that you land at Supernova, and I heard that Reduxy helped to train you for the spawn. Tell me more about this story.
Yeah, he helped me train. Anybody who lands Supernova, we'll see what happens.
Pour faire simple, en fait, le trio de Clicks spawn atterrit dans la ville de Supernova et il y a un ami à lui, Fredoxy, qui l'a pendant des semaines entraîné gentiment parce qu'ils sont amis et c'est grâce en partie à Fredoxy qu'aujourd'hui Clicks se sent à l'aise et c'est pour ça qu'il spawn à Supernova. Last question, what's the objective? Only top one or nothing?
It's top one or nothing, and I gotta make sure this crowd is repping the set. Exit forever.
Du bruit, s'il vous plaît, pour Hicks, Helpso and Clicks!
I had to grab King from the Brazilian region, also representing Argentina here in Lyon today. I've got Ricardo to translate. King, you're so experienced on land that you won in Brazil and then went to North America because you're taking this so seriously. What did you learn from playing in a different region?
So, você foi para os Estados Unidos para melhorar. Por quê? O que você conseguiu tirar dessa viagem?
Ok. A gente foi para a NA porque é uma região muito diferente, muito melhor que a Brasil. Então fomos lá treinar para conseguir dar o máximo.
So they went to North America that has a better quality. So they were able to have better practice and they show up today the best they can do.
And you and Fazer are an experienced duo. Now, of course, you're playing as a trio. Do you think that trios is your favorite way to play this game?
Para mim, eu prefiro pouco mais duo, mas eu acho que o meu melhor nível é no trio.
So they like to play duo better, but they think that their trio is very strong.
I think you're going to be very strong. Thank you so much for talking to me. Obrigada, guys. Leon, please make some noise if you want to meet some more players. Make them ring!
Shadow Sphinx and Mud. The high-tier lobbies just could not contain them. And now it's time for them to unleash their true potential on the global stage.
The terrors of EU, Flixie, Veto, and Vico, having established themselves among the best of the best, they only lack one thing, a trophy. This weekend, they look to take it all.
All the way from Asia, Razzle, Raito, and Tay-Tay. It's a long way from home, but the Major 2 champions are here to deliver the performance of a lifetime.
Hold up, it's Pablo, Fredoxy, and Cheeto. These guys have been on fire this year. With a Major 3 championship under their belt, they're looking to continue that streak.
Big Malabuka and Wax. The venue may as well be home base this weekend. And with so much support behind them, these guys are set to head straight to the top.
Give it up for Chap, Reason, and Mr. Savage. You know them, you love them, and now they're here to impress France this weekend. Let's see them climb to the top of that leaderboard.
Never count out at me because Snowy, Ryu, and Zod are here, and these guys mean business. Plenty of motivation, but now it's time to showcase that the Middle East is all about.
Domination is key for Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. A stellar year for the trio with all eyes on the trophy. They're not playing for second place here. It's all or nothing.
Hold on, it's Kazi, Tinka, and Aspect. Representing the Oshi region this weekend, these guys are here to ensure that they'll be remembered for more than just their potential.
Make some noise. It's Braids, Visuals, and a Minish. Crushing the competition this year and making it this far comes with expectations. Let's see if they can deliver.
Bienvenue on Swizzy, Queasy, and Merstad! After a year of causing chaos in lobbies on EU, now they're ready to bring the heat to Lyon on the global stage. It's showtime!
Have got players from 2 French teams here in Lyon. First of all, from Havoc, we have Wax. I can definitely hear the Havoc fans over here. Thank you, Wax. And over here, representing the Gentle Maids, we have Ping and Malabuka. Now, Malabuka, I know it's going to be really hard for you to hear me right now because the fans really want to show how much they love you. But do you have any words for them?
Guys, keep supporting us. Someone from Gentlemaids will win.
Is that what you think? Qu'est-ce que vous pensez? Will they win today? I think the crowd are on your side today. One more question, though. Do you think that Europe can face off and take this trophy home?
Yeah, 100%. Europe is taking this trophy.
Et je suis avec un nouveau trio et pas n'importe lequel. Regardez, messieurs, dames, avec moi du bruit pour Reason, Chap et Mr. Savage. Savage, hi. I remember that you got your call at the last major, at the last game, at the last moment, and now you're here on the stage. How do you feel?
I feel great. I'm excited to be here. Bonjour, Leon. How we doing?
Like you can see, you have a huge, massive fan base here in France. Do you have so many words, maybe in French, for your French guys?
I don't know that much French, but bonjour, je m'appelle Martin. Comment tu t'appelles? That's all I know in French, but yeah.
Une légende dans tous les domaines. Avec lui, je ne sais pas si vous êtes au courant ici, mais il y a quelqu'un dans ce trio qui parle mieux français encore, et même très bien. C'est Chap. Pourquoi? Eh bien parce qu'il vient aussi un peu de France, il est un peu de chez nous, sa maman elle est française, alors il parle français. Chap, est-ce que tu as un mot, ou plusieurs même à dire, un message à transmettre à tous les fans français ici aujourd'hui?
Je sais pas, je suis juste content d'être ici et j'espère de ramener la coupe à la maison.
Hey! Guys, make some noise for Mr. Savage, Chap, and Reason! And now, back to you, Frank.
Thank you very much, Benji. Now, the Gentlemates fans have been waiting for this moment, I think. Because earlier, on the big screen, when we showed their faces, there was so much noise, so much cheering in this audience. And I know they are just getting warmed up. So please, boys, on your feet. Leon, make some noise for Swizzy, Quizzy, and Mustache! Quizzy, I have to come to you first. You've had a couple of second places at Global Championships. How do you make it #1 this time?
That's the goal. I mean, second twice, and if I have these fans and the atmosphere, should make it.
And Swizzy, hang on a second. What's this? What's this thing? You went to shake my hand. What's this? Oh, okay, right. Show me how it's done. Hard with a microphone, but I'm managing. Swizzy, it seems like you've already got a good friendship with the Gentlemates.
Yeah.
And what would you like to say to them as they chant your name?
I didn't hear.
Have you any words for the Gentlemates?
Gentle.
Gentlemates! Do you want to have a go, Mustache?
I feel amazing, but I want to hear one thing. Gentle! No, gentle!
Okay, guys, I think I should probably let you get ready to load onto that battle bus because the teams here on our stage in Leon are locked and loaded and ready to go.
Guys, I have one word for you. Chill. Okay, the way this audience is going crazy for these players, it's got me so excited. Seeing them now take their seats, interact, getting their thoughts, we're getting close to kicking off the competition. I guess the only question I have for you guys is, who do you think will end in the top 5? You know, I'll start with you, Viv. You got some insight. You put together a little list for us. Why don't you talk us through it?
Yeah, I guess that's the big question this weekend. Who is going to perform well? I went ahead, I kept the NA bias going. I've got Acorn, I've got Idris, and I've got Pollo winning the whole thing. I mean, I've talked about it before. I think their situation is just too good. Uncontested, all 12 games. If that remains, I think it should be easy for them. The only thing that people might be looking at is with Kanata both kind of sneaking in there, top 5. They just seem so confident. Bolt is playing so well. Kanata's been here before. I think they're going to sneak in.
I like your list. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Kanata's trio. I think they have a really good setup. I think Kanata understands what it means to be on this stage on this occasion. I think they could really surprise some people today.
Okay, all right. What about you, Levin? What's your top 5 looking like?
My top 5 is looking pretty similar, I'd say. Have we got any Gentlemates in the building? Any Gentlemates over here? Because I'm with you, Vivid. I think the team that's going to take it. I think it's going to Gentlemates. I think it's going. Let's take a look at my top 5. Right now, I'm rocking with Acorn, Pollo, and Ages. I think when you look at how things are set up for them, it just looks too good. It looks too good. Pollo has that experience of winning. I think it's going to carry them. The crowd's going to carry them. I also got Marius Vanya Pixie in there. They've had such a strong year in EU. They've had adversity that they've overcome. Swizzy, Queasy, Mustache in there. I think the team that maybe might surprise people on my list, I got Deemish, Dom, and Pix. I think these guys have been unbelievable all year over on EU. And they're a very new, inexperienced team. All 3 of these guys are playing at their first ever LAN right now. And so you might be thinking, Levin, how can you be so confident of these guys? Every time we've put them in a situation where we've gone, you're inexperienced, you shouldn't be able to perform, they over-deliver, and I think they'll do the same here this weekend.
Man, the list looks so good, guys. I am so excited, and we hope that if you were not able to join us here in person, that we hope that these roars from this crowd breaks through, that you can hear it, and in those moments, get excited with us. This is the Global Championship. After 6 games today, another 6 tomorrow, we will have new champions prize money, a trophy, Acts of Champions 3.0. It is crazy to think we are finally here. Are you guys hoping to see anything out of today? Maybe it's just something out of game one. Maybe you're hoping to see a trio end well. What are you hoping to see today?
You know, Zeke kind of always asks me this question going into like each one of the majors, right? We spend a lot of time on the desk together. And there's really only one thing that I ever want when we jump into a competition like this. I just want good Fortnite. I want to be entertained, and I cannot lie. I don't think that it's even possible for me to not be entertained.
All I ever want is a good moment. That's all I ever want. I think we're going to see plenty of them across the next 12 games, but today I think we're going to see people really make their mark on this lobby. Who's going to come out there and get that first win, man? I mean, that's always the most exciting part. You know, get the jitters out, get that first win out of the way, and then we start rolling.
Yeah, dude, again, it's like, you know, obviously there is definitely some players who have experience on land, but this crowd just changed everything. And especially, you got to think you have to come in so locked in. If something doesn't go your way and you're eliminated out of spawn, like you said earlier, you just have to sit there and watch everyone else take one step away from you closer to that trophy, right? So how are we going to try and keep mentals under control under these circumstances?
I mean, I've got no idea. How are you going to keep your voices under control, right? The players are kind of walking out. I'm over here trying to scream at them like, yeah, let's go. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't do that so much. I don't know. I mean, I feel like even commenting to your teammates might be a little hard sometimes, right? Especially when we get into the end game, right? The crowd's going to be popping off at every single one of those eliminations. That keeps happening. It's going to be crazy. There's definitely going to be some stage of adaptability for every single one of our players. I mean, we talk about it all the time, Levin, experience, but you can have experience for this.
And look, Vivid, you're someone who's played on amazing stages in your career, right? And I don't think you ever played in an atmosphere like this one, man. It's intense out here.
No, I definitely haven't. I think this one is going to go down in the history books, and we haven't even jumped into game number 1 yet.
Man, you were talking about game number 1. There it is. The battle bus is ready to go. Once again, the pinnacle of Fortnite. The very best trios will now begin the fight to the top. Who will walk away as a global championship trio? Who will take hold of the Acts of Champions 3.0? And who will take home that unbelievable trophy? The competition starts right here, right now. Once again, Leon, let him know, because the competition starts here.
The time has come. The Fortnite Global Championship taco all year long. 33 teams from around the world have been battling from major to major to major just to get the opportunity here. If it's not for the money, if it's not for the fame, it's to call yourself the best in the world.
It's all about that player pride, Jacob. We know just how much is truly contained amongst so many of these trios competing here today. But starting things off hot already, this is an off-spawn fight that we have been expecting to see. And what I really want to know is the shake-up, the outcome. Prodoxy trying to get that first touchdown. Prodoxy gets the first weapon. Sure enough, Haters on the run, still trying to see if he can score away from this. But Pablo, he's been taken down. Chino's fallen too. It's Tayson with the comeback. Prodoxy trying to see if he can lock it down for his team. But Tayson determined to remove Prodoxy's team. And sure enough, disaster strikes. Prodoxy's trio fully down and out for the count. And Tayson has claimed the area.
Already one of our contested fights, 1-0. And do you see this already? They're already not landing at Dystopia City. Everybody was talking about it. They heard the rumors. I kept my ears to the streets all week long to figure out what their game plan was. And scrims leading up to this weren't necessarily netting the best results. And now you see them already over towards Foxy Floodgates. And what this does not only affect Visuals, Raids, and Diminish. This also affects Agers, Acorn, and Pollo. This is the team. They typically trade off Surge into the distance. Now they're already disrupting the game plan.
They're not the only ones. Veno, Flixie, Vico, they've got Grise in their sights, completely tackling all opposition here at Canyon Crossing. Grise doing what he can to try and stay alive, but entirely too many players to overcome. Veno breaks right through, and that's going to be the first knock Another elimination tallied up here for Vika, Venno, and Flixie. Coyota, the sole survivor of this exchange.
And Coyota has pulled out a ton of tricks throughout his career, both online and in global events just like this. But early on in game number one, he's already being forced to play out some of those tricks. He has to disengage, stay alive a little bit longer, and try to have a chance back. But you hear the crowd in the background, Swizzy, Queasy, and Mustache, uncontested at the Hive. And some are looking at this could be one of the best POIs. You get the experience for your OXR rank, the medallion, the mythic weapons, a lot of extra heals at the POI itself, and then the elevation. Kelly and Mini Miner were breaking it down so that way they could start to build that base early and accumulate the Storm Surge, so that way later on in the game they could easily start to rotate around.
And most importantly of all, they're uncontested here at Hive. Whether that stays true throughout the course of this weekend, well, that'll be determined by how things develop, but other teams still caught up in a little bit of battle processing at the start of this match. Dystopia City heating up. Epic Whale, Paper, Victor V, they made it very clear they had zero intentions of ever leaving this POI. So Tete, Raito, Razo, they're gonna have to force some sort of a conclusion to this exchange before the third parties start to trickle in.
Yeah, and it's not just Cold and his trio that are over on this side of the map that they have to watch out for. You see a team at the bottom of your mini-map. They can easily try to rotate towards the north, disrupt what's going on. So that's going to be one of the key aspects to a fight like this, but you're already seeing a flank going around from Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. They're ready to take advantage no matter what happens here, no matter who comes out on top. It's going to be them, but Tate takes a big shot. Epic Whale, the 6-time FNCS champion, dealing a massive amount of damage.
Tate down to his last little bits of HP though. Epic Whale, he's gonna have to take a moment to also get some relief. Paper, nice supportive fire, and that's a big elimination cleanup onto Tate. But now, Cold, Ritual, they're starting to close in. They're interested in everything that Raito has to offer, and that's gonna be the first knock here for Cold. An immediate elimination, but they've already signaled to Epic Whale, Paper, and Victor V that they've got company. Shields are cracked. Peterbot's not letting anybody escape his sights. Peterbot's aim is just notoriously strong, and he is chasing them full on key with those crash pads. He might be able to make it before they can.
You